Alright, legends, welcome along to a little update video for you today. Happy Sunday, by the way. Hope whatever you're doing it safe, having a good time doing it. I have been today taking it easy. Didn't sleep that well last night. Drinking a mess load of water, lying down. 45 years old, you don't want to be lying down with like 2 litres of water in your system because you're going to be up and down throughout the night. So between that and some little back twinges, I was just, not in the best way of sleeping. So it is what it is. But today, now I'm starting to see, if you've seen the last few uploads in the channel, I was talking about getting rid of some of the social media platforms, which I have done. Now, TikTok's gone, another app that I was using sort of similar to that is gone. But the thing is, from the perspective of growing the channels and the content that I'm making, probably not the best option to get rid of them. But psychologically and how I'm just feeling and the amount of free time that I've gotten back since getting rid of them. Now, this is only a matter of 2 or 3 days. I had lost so many hours in the day just scrolling, mindlessly scrolling through that stuff, and the decision to take a step back from it. I'm not even sharing as much of the short content that I'm creating for YouTube that I would have been doing even in the social media that I still have. Step back from everything. The upside to it is phenomenal. Like the amount of free time that I realise that I actually have is unbelievable. So today, got up, was supposed to do a few things, head out, hang out with a friend, grab a coffee, a bite to eat, the usual sort of weekend stuff. Having not slept that well, I decided to not do that today. So did a little bit of light exercise this morning with the sort of similar things you've been seeing on the channel as far as the leg raises goes, and the little bit of upper body that I'm trying to work on, just to try to build the core as best I can, get that little bit of protection, and I've got 2 weeks to get myself in order before I go back to work. So a little bit of exercise this morning, about 20 minutes. Didn't record any of it. I wasn't even planning on putting a video out today. But what happened afterwards just reinforced that this is definitely a great decision moving forward for me. As I say, getting a little bit of free time back there, unreal. So I was thinking, and again, I've not been mindlessly scrolling through social media, just the mind was wandering through other things, and a little video game series that I loved back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I want to say late 90s. I can't recall what year the first game in the series came out, but it was PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era. And the game was Legacy of Kain. Probably talked about it in the channel before. And of course I have a love for writing as well. So this little bit of free time led me towards the little script folder that I've got there for jotting down some of my own short film ideas. So I was going to do that, but having, for some reason, Legacy of Kain in my mind, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to give a go to something that I tried years ago, and that was to do like a little screenplay for Legacy of Kain. The series of video games has a fantastic storyline, probably better than anything I've seen coming out of Hollywood in a long time, and I think it's a no-brainer for somebody to actually take the time to properly make this movie, and I know the fans of the series would be well up for it. And doing a little screenplay for it was something I actually tried years ago. Now, there's a certain character in there, it's not a main character, but in the opening sequence of the first game in the Legacy of Kain series, he's a knight that was supposed to protect this circle of wizards, let's just say, and a vampire attacks, and he feels he doesn't get there in time to save them, and because of that, he is put on trial, and he's condemned to be of service to this circle for all time. So they magically rip his spirit from his body, and he is basically attached to this suit of armor for all time, and he's going to be at their back and call if they need him. So I had messed about on like a little screenplay for like a live action version of the opening of that movie, and kind of giving a backstory to where this knight was at, why he didn't get there in the first place. But moving forward in the games, eventually they addressed this themselves, and it was something completely different than I was thinking, and something that, and in all fairness, far better than anything I came up with. But yeah, just something like, you're allowed to do this sort of thing, you know, fan fiction and that sort of thing. The only time you'd run into any problems is you actually try to make it without permission, but I would never be able to do that. Like the budget that you would need for a live action Legacy of Kain adaptation would be beyond anything you could really do on an independent level. So yeah, so today I sat down and started again on not just the opening of the video game, but you know, the main central character from that universe is Kain, like Legacy of Kain. It's based on him. Although the story is that intense, at certain times throughout the storyline, which covers like centuries, him being a vampire and whatnot, he could either be the anti-hero, hero, or flat out villain of the piece. Fantastic piece of storytelling throughout a 5-game series. So I thought to myself, right, just thinking on the game this morning, and I started to do like a little backstory for Kain, who he was, where he came from. You do get that from the game, but it's kind of more references than anything else. So having a bit of fun with that today. And normally, at this stage, messing about with social media, I would have the vast majority of the day completely wasted doing nothing. And even though this is something here that, you know, I couldn't take forward without the massive amounts of, you know, funding, and the company that owns the game's actually behind me. Something that would never ever happen, but you never know. You start writing this sort of stuff, where it could take you, where it could lead you and whatnot. And it's just something to have a bit of fun with that creative muscle that has just been, that's just in worse condition than the muscles at the base of the back at this point. So getting away from social media, having a little bit of fun, writing something just for the sake of writing has been great today. And at the recording of this video, it's only 4:45 p.m. right now. It's still early in the day, and I've got so much done. But yeah, so if you're thinking about ditching social media for a little bit, so far 3 or 4 days into it at this point, I would highly recommend it, because the amount of stuff that I've actually got done, and the amount of free time that I've actually gotten back is great. And even though, as I think I said at the start of the video, as far as, you know, getting rid of apps like TikTok and whatever mightn't be the best thing for the sake of growth at this point, psychologically, that's been the best decision I've made in a while. So yeah, if you're considering it, I would recommend it. Right, that's going to do it. Just want to come on here and talk a little bit of nonsense with you for a little bit, because of all the free time that I have right now. So whatever you're doing today, I hope you're staying safe. And until the next video, stay safe, and I will talk to you all then.